of all, at the outset, I would like to compliment the All India LIC Employees Federation for this initiative and campaign against the proposed dilution, privatization, and disinvestment in the LIC. LIC, all of us know, it's a very unique public sector financial institution in our country. In the last 65 years, it has grown phenomenally as a people-oriented financial institution in our country. It represents a very huge part of the public savings in our country. And that is why, because of its utility and service to the people, we find LIC is today a very reputed institution and enjoys such an enormous level of public confidence. But unfortunately, now the government, as a part of their policies of liberalization, privatization, reforms, they are now deciding, and they have decided to weaken the LIC, to reduce their stake in LIC, and to go for listing LIC towards disinvestment, which is a step toward privatization of the LIC. This is totally retrograde because we all know the contributions of the LIC to the people and also to the country at large. In the last a decade and little more, we have seen that government has been encouraging the private insurance companies, private capital in the insurance sector. But it is our experience, all of us know, it's visible to the naked eye, that these private insurance companies, and incidentally, we all know their credentials. All these Indian today, these life insurance companies, private people, they have their link abroad, and we know what they have done there. So this is what they have tried to do, and even then, with all the encouragement from the government, with all the boosting by the government, even then LIC stands very, very tall, and nowhere these private insurance companies are near the competitive edge in relation to the life insurance corporation. And that is why they are angry, and that is why somehow they want to reduce the strength of the LIC, to weaken it, so that they can get some more market space in the insurance sector. And that is the reason why now LIC, normally government has been talking, why they will go for selling the public sector. They say it is not profitable, it is not running in loss, it is not running in profit, it is in loss, so I want to sell it. But now LIC is a golden goose. It is making huge profit. For the government, it is a very big paymaster. They contribute to the exchequer of the government. But even then, why the government wants to privatize the LIC? That means this is a big, targeted, designed, orchestrated attack on public sector, especially in our country. We know that entire financial sector, bank, LIC, GIC, trio, we know, we represent in the financial sector a huge part of public money, people's savings. And in our country, which is a developing country, this is the social capital. People's saving is the social capital. And government, there is a limit for taxation, there is a limit for market borrowing, internal or external. So savings is very important. And these savings are available in the banking and insurance and financial sector. Unfortunately, now the government wants to touch that at the pressure of the international monetary agencies, at the pressure of the Indian vested interest corporates. And that is why this recent decision to somehow hand over or begin the handing over or dismantling the public sector life insurance corporation. So naturally, it is very, very important that we need to fight against all these things. We have seen that last year the government brought the FRDI bill. There is absolutely no need. The people who are responsible for the problems in either LIC or GIC or in bank, they are the private people. So they must be found fault and they must be proceeded against. But the government says in the name of FRDI, they say no, the people who keep the money in the banks, they must be penalized. Anyway, at that time, LIC, bank, GIC, we all fought together under a political compared to the total GDP in our country. So this is the significance of the public sector, banks, insurance sector in our country. But the government is under pressure and they are willing to yield to the pressure to privatize. That is why it's very, very important that we defend this public sector institution, that we defend LIC, GAC, and banks. And in banks also we find that the only problem is the huge bad loans. And who are the people who are responsible for the bad loans in the country? Now, on the 19th of July, we are celebrating the 51st anniversary of the banking nationalization in our country. We have decided once again that we are going to publish the names of the big defaulters. So they own nearly 1,40,000 crores of money, and this money belongs to the people, the poor people, the savers. That money has been given to all these people and they are cheating and looting. It's a daylight robbery. Instead of taking action on them, they are being all concessions are being given to them. So whether it is LIC or GIC or banks, in banks they are going for merger, which is not warranted. In general insurance, it is very, very important that we have to merge these insurance companies. We are demanding, but now they are going back. So that means what is good for the country, they will not do. What is not good for the country, they will do. And that is why it is very necessary. Trade unions no longer in our country can confine themselves only to their limited demands, economic demands, their wage revision, their service condition, their promotion, transfer, posting. That's a regular part of trade union. That we have been doing, we shall continue to do, we shall defend and protect the employees' interests. But equally, in our country, trade unions have played a very historical, very patriotic role, not only fighting for the rights of the working class, but in defending the country as a whole, in fighting for the freedom. So once again, now that historical role has to be played by the trade union movement as a whole, and in that particularly in the financial sector, in banks, insurance, we have to play a very decisive, very crucial, very leading role. And I'm very happy that All India LIC Employees Federation is a very important trade union in the insurance sector. It has been built up over the years by great leaders, and today I'm very happy that the present leadership is also very alive to all the challenges. And I can only assure on behalf of the All India Bank Employees Association, on behalf of the entire coordination committee of the bank and insurance and financial sector unions, that we all will work together, we shall fight together. It is not only within the financial sector, we have to integrate our struggles with the general trade union movement, because every sector is today targeted for attack. Railways, defense, you name the public sector and they are attacking. And that is why it's going to be a big challenge. On the one side, they are attacking the rights of the workers.